Hi everyone, welcome back to our Selenium automation series. I'm really glad you are here today because the topic we are covering now is one of the most important foundation in Selenium automation, that is Selenium WebDriver Locators. So now let me ask you a simple question before we begin. How does Selenium actually clicks a button? How does it know where to type text? How does it identify which drop down to select from? So Selenium does not have eyes like humans. It doesn't visually see buttons, colors, or layouts. Instead, Selenium is working purely based on HTML structure, and it needs a precise address to locate the elements. And that address is nothing but a locator. So today's session is all about understanding what locators are, why they are so critical, and how choosing the right locator makes or breaks your automation framework. By end of this lecture, you will not only understand locators conceptually, but you will also start thinking like an automation engineer, not just a tool user. So let's start with the basics. Locators are identifiers for HTML elements on the web page. So think of a locators like a home address. So if you want to visit a friend, I need house number, street name, and of course city name. So without a proper address, I might reach the wrong place. In the same way, Selenium needs a unique address for each UI element. So whether it's a button, input box, or link, locators help Selenium find the exact element, perform actions like click, send keys, select, or verify text. So without locators, Selenium would have no idea where to click. Automation would be impossible. So remember this definition clearly. Locators are the bridge between your automation script and the web page UI. So your script talks to Selenium, Selenium talks to browser, and locators are the language Selenium uses to identify the elements. So now let's talk. Before we go deeper into locators, we must understand what exactly we are locating. So UI elements are anything visible or interactive on a web page. So if you see buttons such as login, submit, register, there are buttons, text boxes such as username, password, check boxes such as accept terms, or any option selections, or radio buttons, for example, gender selection, drop downs, country, state selections, links such as forgot password link, logout link, right? So images, the logos, banners, labels, field descriptions, menus such as navigation bars. So every single one of these is represented in HTML using tags like input tag, button tag, anchor tag, select tag, image tag, like img tag. So these are the different tags are available for locating such elements. Okay, so Selenium doesn't care whether an element looks big or small. It only cares about how it is written in HTML. So when you automate a login page, a registration page, a checkout page, you are essentially interacting with these UI elements through locators. So if you see here, right, in the screen here, so there is a submit button. Okay, there are radio buttons here, choice A and choice B. Okay, then your name is a text field here, and then select item, that is a drop down, right? So these are kind of like UI elements. Okay, or in Selenium we can consider as a web elements. Okay, so that's why understanding UI elements is a prerequisite to mastering the locators. Okay, so now the locators types. So now we come to an important slide of today's session, that is locator types. So Selenium provides multiple ways to locate element because not all web pages are designed perfectly. So let's go through each locator one by one. Okay, so these are the locators. So first is the ID here, right? So ID is most reliable and a preferred locator. So why so? Like because an ID should be unique on the web page. Okay, so if you see like there are like HTML code like input ID is equal to username. Okay, so this is Selenium's best friend, the ID, okay, which is mostly unique. So whenever you see a stable ID, use it first. Then it comes a name locator. So we will be seeing some examples on this in upcoming sessions as well, like how we are using ID locator, name locator, and all kinds of locators. But yeah, just for now, let's take an overview on locators types. Okay, similarly we have name locator. So name is also useful, especially in forms. So for example, inside the closing like less than or greater than symbols input, name is equal to email. So that kind of locator is a name locator. So if the ID is not available, mostly name is your second best choice. Okay, the next is link text and a partial link text. So these are used only for the hyperlinks. So whenever you see the anchor tag for the link, we can use link text and a partial link text. Okay, so let's for example like A forgot password, and the inside two anchor tags, like starting anchor tag and the closing anchor tag, we see a forgot password, that is the link name. Okay, so link text basically matches full text, and then partial link text matches part of the text. So this is very useful for navigation links. Okay, the next type is class name. So class name uses the class attribute. So but be careful, classes are often reused. So if the class is not unique, it may match multiple elements. So always verify the uniqueness. The next is tag name. So tag name is used when you want to find out multiple elements. Let's say for example, find out number of links on the page, find out number of images on the page. So we can simply use tag name and then pass the particular image tag, right? So that way we use a tag name. So it is useful for tables, list, and bulk operations. Okay. The next is CSS selector. So CSS selector is fast, flexible, and very powerful. It uses CSS rules to locate the element, and it's often faster than XPath. And it can locate elements using IDs, classes, attributes, or the hierarchy. Okay, so it can locate elements using ID, class, attribute, and parent-child relationship. The XPath accesses, like accesses we will be seeing in the upcoming sessions. So many professionals prefer CSS over XPath for the performance reasons. The next is XPath. So XPath is the XML path. Okay, so extensive markup language path. So it is the most powerful locator and also called as a universal locator. It can be used for almost any element. It uses XML path expressions to locate the elements, and it's very powerful. It supports relative and absolute path. So it can navigate parent to child, child to parent, sibling to sibling, handle dynamic elements, and work even when nothing else works. So XPath is verbose but extremely flexible. The next is DOM. So this is very rarely used, and the DOM locators access elements directly via JavaScript. So it's rarely used today, but good to know for the legacy systems. Okay. And if you talk about the priority of this locator, so it comes from ID first, then name, then CSS, then XPath, and then others. Okay, so this rule helps keep your framework stable, maintainable, and easy to debug. So these are the locators. Again, we will be going through each and every locator one by one in upcoming sessions. So this is just an overview. Okay, so we will be going with the help of examples as well across all these locators. So why locators matters? So now let's understand why this matters so much. Okay, so imagine a scenario: you write automation today, tomorrow the UI slightly changes, and your test starts failing. So it because the locators was fragile. So good locator ensure reliability, the correct element every time, the maintainability. fewer failures after UI changes, and the scalability, easy automation of large applications. And the bad locators lead to flaky test. So if your developer code getting changed, definitely your test will fail. Frequent maintenance and loss of confidence in automation. Okay, so locators are not just technical, they impact project success. So here are some practical and real world tips. So always inspect the element properly, prefer ID whenever possible, avoid absolute XPath, use the CSS or relative XPath for dynamic pages, avoid indexes unless absolutely necessary. Okay, so remember, a good locator today saves hours of debugging tomorrow. So professional automation engineers spend more time choosing locators than writing the code. So theory alone is not enough. You need hands-on experience, hands-on practice. Okay, so I strongly recommend practicing these locators. Again, we will be going through each and every locators. So practice locating buttons, text boxes, drop downs, links, images, and try multiple locator strategies for the same element. So this is how you truly master the locators. Okay, so I will just quickly show you some locators, like how we can locate it. Okay, and then again, as I said, we will be going through each and every locators in the next sessions. Okay, let me open my Chrome here. Okay, so this is our website. Okay, so let's consider. Okay, so this is the username and password. So if I just select the username, so I will like I gets navigated to this particular HTML code for this text field, right? So if you see, this is the input tag, this is the ID attribute, and this is the attribute value. Okay, so let's say if I want to locate this particular element, I can simply use by.id, or else if I want to XPath, if I want to use XPath, then simply I can use XPath also. So / input, and then just add particular ID here, and then I can simply add that particular login username. Oh, wait, let me take the exact wording here. Okay, so this is username, U is capital. Okay, now you see I am able to locate this particular element. Okay, and if you see, this is the input, right? This is the input tag for this text. Okay, if you see button, it will be button. So let's select this one, and now you see the button. Okay, if you want to see this particular link, then simply select the link, and then you see the anchor tag. This is A is nothing but an anchor tag. Okay, again, let me go to the main page, and then I will show you. Let's say, for example, if there is an image. Okay, so this one, right? So this is the image. Select the image, and then you see the tag is image for this img, right? And then if you see the labels, see, this is the label, this is the label, sample image, you see the tag is label. So these are different different tags are there for specific elements. So we should be able to write the locator for locating these particular elements. Okay, so let's quickly summarize today's session. So locators are how Selenium identifies the element. UI elements are everything users interact with, and the Selenium provides multiple locator strategies, the types which we have seen. Choosing the right locator is critical for stable automation. Okay, so in the next session, we will move from theory to execution using these locators inside real Selenium scripts. Okay, so keep practicing, experiment with different locator strategies, and most importantly, understand why a locator works. If you found this session helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and teammates. That really helps the channel grow and allows me to bring more in-depth real world automation content for you. See you in the next lecture. Thank you so much.